Leading Leaver Steve Barclay, the deputy chairman of Eurosceptic European research group of Tory backbenchers, is one of 5 MPs who will today meet Brexit Secretary Steve Barclay and senior civil servants for the first in a series of meetings. The group, which also includes Brexiteers Fysh and Owen Paterson as well as Remainers Damian and Nicky, will gather at the Cabinet Office to look at ways to turn a compromise plan floated last week into a more formal proposal. Downing Street said that Attorney General Geoffrey Cox is looking at the legal changes the government wants to secure to the backstop. A spokeswoman said, as the PM has previously said, there are a number of ideas on this, including a unilateral exit mechanism or a time limit, and the Attorney General is considering their wording and legal effect. Mrs May insisted yesterday she would be battling for Britain when she returns to Brussels to seek pragmatic Brexit deal that can win over both the European Union and her own MPs. She said, "I will be armed with a fresh mandate, new ideas and a renewed determination to agree a pragmatic solution that delivers the Brexit the British people voted for, while ensuring there is no hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland." But their comments sparked fear among Brexiteers that the Prime Minister was gearing up to accept a legal fudge on the backstop arrangements to stop a hard Irish border instead of reopening the deal. Theresa May will meet Brexiteers and Remainers today. Image Getty. Geoffrey Cox is looking at the legal changes the government wants to secure to the backstop. Image Press Association. Prominent Eurosceptic Andrea Jenkins said Tory MPs had agreed to support calls for alternative arrangements to the backstop last week, but insisted they had all said there are other issues with the exit deal. Mr Barclay said many MPs still had issues with other parts of the withdrawal agreement and warned the PM there was trouble ahead unless key demands over changes to her EU divorce deal are met. Leave-backing MPs voted to support alternative arrangements in Northern Ireland, but with grave misgivings about the whole agreement. He said, "Now the PM co-opts us into accepting everything but the backstop." As Mrs May faced her latest Commons showdown last week, a shock plan devised by Conservative MPs, including Mr Barclay and Mrs Morgan, emerged. The Malthouse Compromise was named after Housing Minister Kitty Malthouse, who brokered secret talks between the warring Tory factions. Prominent Eurosceptic Andrea Jenkins. Image Paul Ellis. AFP. Getty. Its first proposal would mean reopening the withdrawal agreement and replacing the backstop with a permanent basic free trade agreement. If Brussels rejects the plan, the second option would ask the EU for a transition period. Even though an exit deal had not been reached, Britain would hand over cash to Brussels in return for extra time to prepare for no deal. The Alternative Arrangements Working Group will hold its first meeting today. More meetings are scheduled for tomorrow and Wednesday. Officials from Number 10 HMRC, the Cabinet Office's Europe Unit, and other relevant departments will be involved. Mr Cox is looking at the legal changes the government wants to secure to the backstop. Options include a unilateral exit mechanism or a time limit. The Prime Minister could go back to Brussels within days to discuss fresh proposals. She is due to report back to Parliament on her negotiations with the EU on February 13, with a further series of votes by MPs expected the following day.